The Will You Grow Show goes live Sundays 9 to 10 a.m. Eastern. To receive notifications, click the subscribe button beneath this video, or visit YouTube's Will You Grow channel to see more shows and videos. And now, here's Will You founder Angelique Medow with this week's Will You Grow Show.
Welcome to the Will You Grow Show. How are you? I'm Angelique, and I'm here to ignite your inner courage to release yourself from limitations. I'm the founder of Will You and WillYouGrow.com, an inspirational multimedia company that provides personal growth and joy through education, conversations, and adventures like the one we're having today. We're obviously not in the studio. We are out on location in Tennessee. We're next to the Fort Loudon Lake. We're back in Tennessee and happy about that. Wisconsin was wonderful, and we thank all of the folks who came and joined us out on tour in Wisconsin. Had a wonderful time there. And now we're back in Tennessee preparing for our next tour date, which is going to be up to the Smoky Mountains, going to Abrams Falls and Cades Cove. So if you're interested in learning more about that, we'll have a little video detail about that, and you can also check it out in the description box. But for today, we are on the second of a series of 15 shows about personal growth through journaling. We just finished up 15 shows about personal growth through nature, and we're also combining the two a bit, writing about some of the nature topics. Now, why are we talking about journaling? Well, personal growth can be done in many ways. Really, it can be done in any way. We can learn about ourself, life, and nature, God, the consciousness, whatever you might like to call it. We can learn about the deeper meanings of life through anything. But I'm coming to you talking about the things that I know about personally so that I can share those with you and hopefully inspire you to make the changes that you know are necessary for you. And also enlighten you on some of the things you may not know about. So today's topic is all about you, and it's about the fact that you are worth knowing. Personal growth through journaling can help you to realize that, because although we might say in our mind or try to tell ourselves, yes, we are worth knowing. And of course we say, sure, yeah, of course we're worth knowing. We might be able to say it out loud and we might think it. We might not fully believe it. And that's where the problem of willpower comes in and sabotage comes in. It's when part of us thinks one thing, but the rest of us is doing another. And when it comes to journaling, our self-worth and our lack of self-worth is the greatest saboteur of us actually being successful at journaling and personal growth through journaling. So that's why we're coming to you with that topic today. So how do you know that you're worthy? How would you know that? Well, I learned for myself why I'm worthy, and I learned that through nature. It wasn't anything that was taught to me through school. My worthiness wasn't taught to me through my relationships. My worthiness wasn't taught to me through any kind of educational process through the regular means. My learning about my self-worth, my true self-worth, did not come from anything in the physical realm. My learning about my self-worth came from my recognizing that I'm part of nature. And nature is worth something, right? Now, how do we know that? Because it is. So it might be kind of a deep dive to just jump right into this, but I'm not here to waste your time. I'm helping you to hopefully release your limitations, and your lack of self-worth in any means is a limitation to learning. So for me, when I realized, hey, the fact that life continues to make this heart beat, continues to make this earth spin, life continues to make this water flow, continues to allow these beautiful rocks to be here, continues to make this gorgeous sky. The fact that life continues through us, with us, is us, in us, means that we're worth being here. Because the fact is, life could choose to take away its life force source, at any time. Whether you want to call it life or nature or God, whatever it is, that's the power source that makes these things run. That could choose to go away. It could be taken at any time. So the fact that I'm here means that I'm supposed to be here, that I'm worth having here. And if I'm worth having here, then I'm worth knowing. And that was not always easy to say. Because I don't know how you all were raised, and I don't know what your schooling might have been. But I know many parents who were not taught that what they thought was worthwhile. They didn't know that their thoughts and their feelings were worthy. They didn't know that those things were important. They were not taught that what they thought and felt mattered. And so they submerged those things. They became subconscious. And if any of you were raised by parents who didn't know their own worth of anything that was inside, and instead just did things like, for example, worked all the time, or gave their power away to their husband all the time and didn't know what was happening in here, or if they had an addiction and drank all the time, or whatever they did to try to escape the pain of not being connected to what's going on in their thoughts and feelings, then you know what I'm talking about. So again, if we're raised by folks who don't know their worth, and they were raised by folks who don't know their worth, their true worth, not just what they can do, then we're probably going to have problems with our own self-worth. Now, how do we know? How do we know if we have trouble with our self-worth? And how can we use journals to try to unravel that kind of, well, rat's nest of intricate web of thoughts and feelings and incorrect belief systems that we have taken on that say that we're not worthy. Well, we know we don't think we're worthy. We know that we don't really believe that we're worthy. We don't know that we're worthy. If we say things to ourselves like, it doesn't matter what I think, or my feelings aren't important, or we don't even know what our feelings are. If we don't know what our thoughts and our feelings are, then we don't think that they're worthy. If we thought they were worthy, we would pay attention to them. Another example is I've worked with someone who said that they thought they were being nosy when they were looking into their own thoughts and feelings. It was just being nosy, and they wouldn't want to do that to someone else. And I had asked, why? I know the question I asked was, who told you that? Because I had the intuitive sense that it wasn't they actually who thought or believed that it was something they had taken on from someone else, and they had said, that's my mom. So these old thought patterns, these old belief systems could still be with us for decades. It can last throughout an entire lifetime. These belief systems that what's going on in here shouldn't be trifled with, shouldn't be looked at, isn't worthwhile, isn't worth knowing. Those belief systems are holding us back because it makes us feel and believe that we are not worthy to get to know. Now, if we don't know this one, how in the world are we going to help it? How are we going to care for this one if we don't know anything about it? If I don't know that I feel sad, how am I going to care for my sadness? I won't, because instead I'll drink, or I'll eat, or I'll gamble, or I'll have illicit sex, or I'll, etc., etc. any number of things that I might do because I don't know what's happening in here and I don't know how to care for it. So these are just some examples to help to maybe get you to think a little bit about your own self-worth. And now, how do we get to know this one in our journals? Well, the reason that we wanted to talk about self-worth and that you are worth knowing today is because when you know that you are worth knowing, then you will feel that it's okay for you to write in the journal. If you don't until you do, then you might resist writing in the journal. Because, one, you might be afraid of what you might find in there. You might be afraid of what you might find inside of yourself. Maybe people brought you up to think that what was in here was bad or wrong. Maybe every time you felt sad, it made your parents feel sad, and so you pretended you weren't sad to make them feel better. Maybe when you were angry, even if you had a right to be, people told you it was wrong or that it was against your religious beliefs to feel anger. And so you pushed that anger down and pretended it wasn't there, and you judged that the anger was wrong. Well, no emotion is wrong. It's what you do with it that might be. It's what you do with it that might be. When we don't know our feelings, they just dive down deeper. For example, like the turtle that I saw earlier. It's not that the turtle doesn't exist when we can't see it. You can't see the turtle right now, right? It doesn't mean that he doesn't exist just because he's under the water. That is what happens when we submerge our emotions because we've judged that they're wrong. I'd like to wipe that slate clean for us. Let's just wipe it clean right now. I'd like for you to say an affirmation with me. The affirmation is, it is okay for me to feel any emotion. Let's say it out loud. It is okay for me to feel any emotion. Good. Now the second one. It's okay that any emotion exists within me. Let's do that again. We'll do it together. It's okay that any emotion exists within me. And number 3, my emotions are here to express. My emotions are here to express. Now, I hope that you've taken a sigh of relief just in hearing that. My emotions are here to express. That doesn't mean taking your emotions out on other people. Maybe an expression is writing it in your journal. Maybe an expression of your emotions is singing. Maybe an expression of your emotions is swimming. Maybe an expression of your emotions is music. You choose. When you're conscious in your heart mind, you choose how to express your emotion in an appropriate way, rather than having your emotions dive down like the turtle and then just pop up in erratic, uncontrollable feeling, reactive ways that we then regret later. So this right here in journaling is one way, one tool to get to know what your feelings are. And I say feelings, if thoughts are included in this too. We don't always know what we're thinking either. But most of us are farther out of touch with our feelings than we are with our thoughts. But either one, whichever applies to you, is important for you to access and then write about. So I hope that some of these affirmations that I've just shared with you can help to, bring more of that feeling of self-worth for you, to acknowledge that it's okay to have thoughts and feelings, any of them. It's what you do with them that can cause a whole lot of trouble. What we do with them that does not cause trouble is writing about them. It gives us a chance to fully express maybe we can't express these feelings to other people because it's going to get us in a whole lot of trouble. But we can express them fully to ourselves, and that matters. That really matters, to know that at least this one is here for ourselves. At least this one will listen fully, with love, with understanding, with compassion, with care, with support, with nourishment of what's best for this. And when I say this, I don't mean just the body. The body's part of it, but the soul is the rest. So this can act like our own personal counselor, psychologist. It's a tool. It's a tool. There are lots of tools, as I said. This is just one of them. As the heron is in the background. The heron is generally a solitary animal. And as you know, I enjoy learning from nature. So the heron, as a solitary animal, will hunt and do all of its major work for the day by itself. And that's what you're going to do when you're journaling. You're going to do most of this work by yourself. You're going to be sitting on your own. You're going to be writing on your own. You're going to be researching on your own. You're going to be researching into yourself. So, as you knew from the first episode here about personal growth through journaling, at the end of each episode, we're going to have this little bonus round where we all get to write together. So today, I'm going to take a moment to sit on this rock right out here and look out into the water. And I'm going to start by integrating what I said at the beginning of this message. I'm going to start by integrating and recognizing and accepting and appreciating the fact that I am sitting amongst beauty and nature. And I'm going to appreciate the rocks and the water and the trees and the air and everything. And then I'm going to appreciate myself, because I'm part of nature. And so are you. I'm not more important and I'm not less important, but I am part. And I'm going to choose to include myself in that, which includes all of my thoughts and my feelings. Knowing that I am worthy, I'm just as worthy as the trees and the rocks and the birds and the plants and the water, the air, the sky, the colors, all those things. And I'm going to notice what animals come and speak, what animals come to be near me. I'm going to notice those things. I'm going to write about them in the journal, and then I'll share that with you. So this is your time to take the bonus round. I hope you'll do that. Go ahead and write with me. And as we write, just know that I'll be here with you, that you are not alone in this process, and that I'm proud of you for every step that you take to release your limitations and acknowledge the best of who you are and want to be. All right, did you enjoy that wonderful time journaling? I hope you did. I sure did. It was awesome. All right, I'm going to share with you what it was that I learned during my journaling. It was wonderful. All right, first I'll tell you what I noticed. I noticed that as the blue jays cried above and the water lapped below, I was reminded of my own cries within and the emotions below me, within me, the ones that were submerged, like the turtles submerge underwater. And as I noticed those blue jays and the water lapping, the sounds then subsided. And that reminded me, such is the power of awareness of those things. As soon as we put our awareness on what's crying out to us or what we're noticing, then they have a tendency to wane. And then after that, the chatter of the chickadees emerged. And the chickadees remind us of truth. Then a turtle arose from the depths and it poked its head up to say hello. It was so sweet and wonderful and awesome. So cool. So these things reminded me that I am known and seen in these woods and everywhere. The blue jays reminded me that I'm currently multitasking and that I need to be careful not to push my will, which sometimes blue jays do. The lapping water reminded me that I have lots of moving emotions running under the surface of my day-to-day life and to care for them, so they don't wear down the rock of my center, because that's what water does. It'll wear down whatever it happens to be near. The chickadees reminded me to stay grounded in truth. And the turtle reminded me of the turtle that I had saved from the fishing line that was out here a while back. And it reminded me that I am a creature of both land and water, and that I personally am blessed to be a safe harbor for the animals when they are in need, like the turtle in the fishing line. But even with more joy, I'm also reminded that the turtle was one of the animals that came to me, like today, that just chose to come visit, just because it wanted to. It hung out with me, it was looking at me in the eye, it just stayed, it treaded water near me. It didn't have to do that. It just wanted to hang out for a while. And that's a compliment from the animal kingdom when they choose to want to be with you. It's a blessing and a joy. So I hope you enjoyed today's Will You Grow show. And I'm very happy to say that I'm looking forward to seeing you. I'm glad that we could talk about this self-worth topic because it's vital for you getting to know yourself, whether it's through journaling or anything else. If there are ways that I can help you in this process, please feel free to reach out to me. You're welcome to give me an email. You're also welcome to go to my website or down in the description box where you can click on a link that talks about ways that you can sign up for individual sessions where we can just talk and have conversations, and your first conversation is free if you choose to book a package. Also, I'd love to be able to meet you in person. Join me out on tour. We'll be here in Tennessee, hiking Abrams Falls and Cades Cove, which you'll see a video about here in just a minute. And we're also going to be in South Carolina by the sea at the end of the month. Join us from October 28th to the 30th, where we'll be giving a course there on Friday the 28th about personal growth through journaling and inviting peace, passion, and joy into our life. That course is a part of the Pat Conroy Literary Center and Festival, which we are so honored to be a part of. What a joy. Pat Conroy, one of the South's most famous authors. So come join us for that weekend where you can meet lots of New York Times bestsellers, and you can also meet with me. It'd be a pleasure to meet you in person. So please come join me out on tour. I want to see you one-on-one. Let's get together in Tennessee, South Carolina, or at a future tour date. Also, you can pick up show notes. Any of the topics that we talk about, you can click down in the description box and get little show notes that describe little bullet points from what it is we talked about today, in case you need that or would like that for future reference. And until I see you again, whether it's next Sunday on the show or sometime on tour, I want you to take excellent care of your very fine self. and I send you off always with love. From Angelique.
The key to healing and transformation is to know thyself. One of the best ways to enhance self-awareness is to take pen to paper. Will You, the company that creates tools for inspiration and joy, introduces 11 styles of hardcover journals. These gorgeous 200-page hardcover journals contain light charcoal lines on cream paper, beckoning you to unbridle your mind and write. Knowing your purchase supports environmental charities. Available at willyougrow.com and amazon.com. If you wish you had notes for today's show topic, your wish is granted. You can receive free weekly articles emailed to you every Sunday that match the show topic. And you'll have free anytime access to all prior articles, shows, adventure videos, affirmations, personal success stories, and the latest happenings at Will You. Here's what to do. Just click Show More in the description box. Then click the link for your free weekly inspirational article. Type in your email address, hit enter, and you're set. You'll start getting free weekly articles in your inbox every Sunday, and you'll have free anytime access to hundreds of inspirational ideas and support from Will You. Get your free show notes by clicking free weekly articles in the description box. Join Angelique and the Will You Grow team on tour. Be inspired and empowered by an immersive nature experience and supper in the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee. A live workshop during beautiful Beaufort, South Carolina's Pat Conroy Literary Festival, and a nature tour of Angelique's favorite place on earth, Hunting Island, South Carolina. Adventure with us every third Tuesday of the month through October in Townsend, Tennessee for a day hike to Abrams Falls, followed by a casual 5-star supper on the patio at the Dancing Bear Appalachian Bistro and Lodge. Adventure with us Friday morning, October 28th in beautiful Beaufort, South Carolina for a writer's workshop presented by Angelique to invite more peace, passion, and joy into your life. This workshop is in partnership with the Pat Conroy Literary Center and its festival, celebrating Pat Conroy, a leading figure of late 20th century Southern literature. Join Angelique and a myriad of authors, celebrities, writers, and New York Times bestsellers as they present workshops to educate and inspire you on your life journey. While in South Carolina, adventure with us on Sunday, October 30th for an immersive nature experience as Angelique leads you to deepen your connection with nature and experience walking the sandy trails of the tropical forest with loblolly pines, deer, herons, and great horned owls. Enjoy all these great adventures and come travel with us on tour. Click the link to Adventure Tours in the description box and book your tickets now to see us there. For more information about programs offered by Will You, mentoring with Angelique, and to watch video success stories from clients, explore willyougrow.com. If you or your company are interested in inspiring our mutual audience by sponsoring this or another of our programs, let's talk about it. Boost viewer confidence and trust in your company. Call 1-833-WILL-YOU, then press extension number 6. Make sure to click the subscribe button to get reminders before upcoming shows.